Blue Lock left me in total shock in this chapter, as we see both KAISER and Loki kind of embarrassing the other countries. After that, we see the Blue Lock players making fun of KAISER before Isagi starts to feel nervous over the pressure. Alright, starting off this chapter, we get right into the U20 World Cup Group A, Game 2, where we see the beast Loki sprinting on the field with an absolute insane speed as he flies past the defenders, and bro, just look at him. He literally has lightning in his eyes. Anyway, after that, Loki gets into a shooting position, so he fires it off, which to no one's surprise, goes right into the back of the net. This gets the crowd really going, as they all jump up, and after that, Loki hits his extremely cold pose, as I'm not gonna lie, but he has massive aura here, as his entire body is fired up, as he looks super determined. We also see that he has gotten 2 goals and won the game for France, with the final scores being 2-1. We also see that France are on pair with Japan in the Group A board. After that, we see the group rankings with the end of round 2. Now this is way too much to go in on. However, this could be very interesting to learn about which teams are dominating already and who are not. With that said, however, I can see my country Sweden in Group D, which got destroyed by Spain with 3 goals. So yeah, that's kinda sad, but not gonna lie, Sweden is ass. So let's move on to someone who isn't ass, and that's KAISER, who we see is going ham, just like Loki. Or I might say even more than Loki, as KAISER managed to get a hat-trick, and I wonder if this is the first hat-trick in the series or not. But still, 3 goals in 1 game really proves how much of a beast he is. Though it has to be stated that it's against Costa Rica, so it might not have been the hardest to do, but a hat-trick is a hat-trick at the end of the day. And with this, I can't wait to see how much he has improved since the Neo Egoist League. After that, we get to the U20 Japan monitor room, where we see the players watching KAISER's hat-trick. Aiku looks extremely impressed, and Nanasi says that Germany sure knows how to win, and Kiora, who is chilling by his side, agrees. After that, we see Aryu, who is actually imitating KAISER as he says, "The wait is over, and he has yearned for Isagi." Nico just asks him if he is trying to be stylish KAISER. Otoya also adds on as he says, "I've come for revenge, Isagi." But then Karasu smacks him on his head and tells him to stop pretending to be Ness, and we also see Sendo by the side, who can't help himself but laugh. But someone who isn't enjoying it is Baru, who asks them to be silent and calls them losers. To Baru's right is Hiyori, who says that in the group leagues, each team plays 3 matches, and the top 2 teams of each group will advance. He explains that if they win their next match, then they are basically guaranteed to advance to the finals. Reichi, however, adds in, as he says that they are up against France, who is the world's #1 though. Chigiri then adds in and says that it doesn't matter, as they will devour and defeat everyone. Kurona says that they have to beat them if they are going to win after all, and Yukimiya says that being the best in the world is the only option. When all 3 of them are finished, they say that it's just what Isagi would say. With that, we see Isagi, who is sitting right behind them, and he looks a bit annoyed as he asks them if they are making fun of him. Yukimiya looks at him and says not at all, and that it's actually a compliment. Yukimiya then adds on even more, and says that when he gets nervous, it's a nice mental boost. Chigiri agrees and says that the little Isagi is in your head, and Raichi also says that he's got a little Isagi in his head, and Corona just nods his head. This makes Isagi mad for real as he tells them that now they are definitely making fun of him. However, Chigiri starts to smile and says that it just goes to show how much everyone's looking up to him. Reichi, who is sitting on a chair, says that he doesn't plan on giving up the title of the world's best to him, and Corona once again is super cute as he nods his head. Anyway, as Isagi hears their words, he starts to smirk, and after that, he tells them to just bring it on then, and that it's a healthy mindset for a Blue Lock egotist. After that, he leaves the room and goes to the restroom, and as he walks into it, he spots Rin already doing his business, and they stare at each other for a minute, which is extremely awkward. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? Isagi then also goes to do his business, and Rin tells him not to look at him, and Isagi tells Rin that the same goes for him. After that, when the awkwardness has gone away, Rin speaks up. He asks if soccer is fun for Isagi, and when everything goes his way, and he is an undisputed superstar, Isagi, who is just looking forward, says that it is fun. He then asks Rin if he is jealous and if his exploits are bothering Rin. Rin then glances at Isagi and tells him that it's not it, but he tells Isagi not to get satisfied with all this. Isagi, with an angry tone, tells Rin that he isn't. With that, Rin tells him that until he destroys Sayatoshi, Isagi needs to keep being a demon lord who interferes with his life, and Rin looks so insanely cold as he says that. Meanwhile, we see Isagi on the side, who is just silent as he looks at Rin. After that, Rin walks out, and in the hallway, he bumps into Bachira, who is doing keep-ups with his head. He goes past Rin and asks him if he has seen Isagi and says that he was thinking of asking him to train with him. But even before Bachira can finish his sentence, Rin tells him that he doesn't care and tells Bachira to head to the restroom and then go to sleep. Bachira just looks at him silently as he walks away. After that, we get back to the restroom, where Isagi has gone into one of the stalls. He puts his head towards the door and tells himself not to get satisfied. He thinks that right now, he is the number one in Blue Lock, thinking that he has the abilities to hold his own against the world. Everyone's chasing after him and steadily leveling up. On top of that, Rin and he are strengthening each other as rival egotists, and that's far from all, as he also has ego's dreams, which are riding on him. Isagi tells himself that it's fine and that everything is going well, once again telling himself not to get satisfied, and he does admit that it's good, but still being number one is really terrifying. And we then see him now sitting down on the floor as he looks a bit manic as he is holding his right arm from shaking. He then looks at his shaking hand and says that there's no denying it, and that he has become the nucleus of Blue Lock. He thinks that it's exactly what he wanted to become the best in the world, but if his condition slips and if he messes up and lose, then there's a good chance that all of Blue Lock would collapse with him. He calls it seriously nuts, and that this is the pressure that you feel at the top of a team. He puts his hand towards his head and thinks that he has never felt this sort of responsibility before. He then thinks about Rin, KAISER, and Loki, and he wonders if they have been fighting like this. After that, he thinks to his goat Noah and says that he is sure that Noah also overcome it countless times, and it looks like thinking like that gives him some sort of peace, as he then tells himself to become the best in the world. And just like that, we get to 24 hours later, where we see that the match between Japan and France is just about to start, and the crowd is starting to get ready. Meanwhile, Isagi tells himself not to run away and to go crazy and to become number one. And just like that, the text says that France versus Japan, the game has started. But before moving on, let's just look at this fantastic panel. We see Isagi in the hallway to the field, and outside it looks like a bright light. Meanwhile, Isagi is standing super ready, as it looks like he really has everything hanging on his shoulders. The next chapter will be called Winner Contender, which is super interesting. This could honestly mean a lot, as either they will try to figure out the key to winning this match against France, or we will get some small talk between Isagi and Loki, where they talk about who of them will be the winner contender for this match. But yeah, let me know down in the comments about your speculations. But with that, we will have to wait 2 weeks, as it's a break week, sadly. But honestly, it's a bit good because, well, then you can focus on celebrating Christmas and New Year's without thinking of Blue Lock too much. Anyway, that's not to say that I'm not going to talk about it right now, as let's get into this chapter. Firstly, I'm interested to learn about the England player who scored on France. Depending on which position that Hugo is playing, it might a big feat to score on France. So I'm wondering if England has a new Gen 11 who scored. We will for sure get to learn about it when Japan finally goes against England. However, I'm thinking that it will be a while until we get there, as I feel like this game will at least be around 20 chapters. Honestly, I do hope that it gets to like 30 or even 40 chapters, so that it becomes like the Neo Egoist League games. But since there are so many games in the U20 World Cup, I'm not too sure how many the authors wants to dedicate to this match alone, even though it's a totally insane match like France is going up against Japan, and since Isagi and Loki already has massive beef, this means a lot for both of them. However, I do think that Japan will most likely lose this game, unfortunately, not because I think that France will steamroll them. However, if they win this game, then there is nothing on the line against England, so they will for sure lose this match and then go into the England match being forced to do anything to win it. Now, I should probably try and speculate how the scores will be, and I predict that the final scores will either be 3-2 or 4-2 to France, as I strongly believe that they will win. But let me know your score prediction down in the comments, and also what you would rate this chapter. I would give it like a 6 out of 10, as it was decent. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you're curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.